Hello, everyone. Patriot5 here with Patriots6. Sorry we're running a little bit late. I'm going to go right into the pledge and the music, and I'll be right back. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I had to start again. Just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And when at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt that's the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I can stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no time to say, God bless the USA. Next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless
Yes, proud to be an American. God bless the USA. As I said, I'm sorry I'm late. I've had a very, very busy day. The heat here is astronomical, and it is what it is. So with that being said, we're going to do a short show tonight. I don't have a whole lot. I know people have been posting things, but it's on most of the stuff that's come in today for me. Has been from TikTok, and I don't have TikTok. I had very, very bad experience with TikTok, but I don't feel the need to go into discussion. It's super, super hot here too, Myrna. It's in the high 90s, might even be pushing 100. And this is 3 days in a row. I went to get in my swimming pool 3 days ago, and the shock of the coolness really surprised me. Last night I went and jumped in it, and it was like, my God, it's as warm as a bath. I went there to cool off, and the only thing I got cool from was just the wetness. But we've been waiting for the hot weather. But see, and I'm going to say this here. It is my personal opinion, and Bill Woods and Myrna and Janet and Jeffrey and Cindy, all of you here, you don't have to agree with me. But I'm a firm believer that they're controlling the weather. They're trying to make it as miserable on us as they possibly can. Now, is it the good people controlling it? Well, if we've won, who else can it be? So what do we have leading us? A man who's literally puts more emphasis in putting two flagpoles up. He puts more interest in putting two flagpoles up than he does the people who got him elected that he promised he would do things for. When he was running, he made this statement. He makes a statement. He comes out and he said boldly, it'll take me 2 weeks, if or less, to end the war in that one country. You know, the two countries, the one where that girl that I write lives. Thank you, Myrna. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm talking about this man, but I think he's the best we've got. He's a lot better than what we did have in charge. But the point is, 2 weeks and he would end it. I don't know how long ago it was that they said he was in it for his 100th day. Oh, but let's make matters go more. Let's take it to another level. Not only did he not end them 2 countries, but he got 2 more now. And now we're on the brink of getting attacked ourselves. Proud to be an American, or at least I know I'm free. But you know what? What I'm seeing right now with the high prices of gas, the high prices of food, all I ever see is I read an article last night that now they want to make it you have to be 70 years old before you can retire. Well, sure, why not? Because, you know, he put up 2 flagpoles. He probably needs a little more money in his pocket. Now, he says he doesn't take any, but something's happening somewhere.
And that's fine if you get on the net bet.
And as Ron said, it's fine if we could get on the special bets. But what's happened there? People are dying every day. Every day. And now what do I read just the other day? I don't know if you guys seen the article. They're trying to pass a bill. Our great president, oh, the man we love, and I do. He's trying to get a bill passed that if you are terminally ill, an older person, you are terminally ill and there's no hope for you. If you are that way, you can sign a paper and they can treat you just like they do a dog, a cat, a cow, a horse, whatever. They can give you an injection and you can go to sleep forever. You can actually die. That's the bill that they want to get passed. Oh, the Democrats, they're totally for this. Oh, that would be great. That would be great. But what happens when the doctor comes in and says, this person isn't even sick, is terminally ill. No way he can be saved. And all of a sudden they just start. Remember what happened in 2020? Remember what happened in 2020 when we had to wear masks? Because people believed in stupidity. When they believed in well, the doctor said it must be true. Well, this guy said it must be true. But now, have you seen, as I was trying to find the other night to read in this show on Friday night? Hi, Richard. Hi, Papa G. Hi, John. Good to see you. Ron's here. Justin. Trying to acknowledge as many as I can. Haven't seen Ella yet. She's probably at the pool. Yes, actually, I should be there. I don't know. I don't. Maybe if you guys are chatting and you're listening to me, maybe I'm off base. I don't want to be someone who's going to sit and complain about everything. But I don't understand. Ron mentioned the beds. I mentioned this new law they want to pass. Why aren't we on these beds? Why are people still struggling? Or are we being lied to again? Now, one simple question I'd like to ask everybody here. We have found out through all of the research that we do, we have found out through all the people talking, and, there's always going to be new ones coming out of the woodwork who all of a sudden, a very, very good friend of mine contacted me the other day and wanted to know this person's saying this and this person's saying this. And I said, who are these people? I'd never heard of them. But it's all these new people that they want to be noticed. You know what it is? It's these new people that they say, well, we should have went, we should have had this done, but we haven't went and we haven't got it done. So they're going to come in and they're going to try to make a name for themselves, and they're going to try to get people to follow them, and they're going to try to become rich like so many other people have done. They might even get a woman that might sell her golden bundles, or a man that sells his products. Why are we pushing products to heal everybody? Why are we not all going together as a nation and a world and demanding that these beds are released? Doctors are being interviewed now. They're quitting. They're quitting. Well, why didn't you quit 10 years ago? If you believed in this, why didn't you? Why? Because they had to make enough money so they could afford to quit. So now they can look like they're really someone special. All in all, people like us, we keep going hungry. People keep going homeless. People keep struggling. And boy, I wish, someone asked me, what was the one thing you wish could happen? I wish that the hat could watch this video and see how people feel and understand how people feel, instead of having, hey, we're going to start on the Memorial Day weekend until the 4th of July, and then until the 4th of July next year. It's going to be the most happiest times. And maybe it will. Maybe all I'm doing is just talking right here. And we may, by the time the show's over, we may be ready to go in this. But we should have been in it already. He's made promises. But whenever you say anything, and I think Carolyn Levitt is the greatest press secretary we've ever had. Some people say, well, yeah, sure you will, because she likes to strut around in her bikini. It has nothing to do with that. She don't take no crap. But then again, ask yourself this. When Carolyn Levitt gets up there and she defends the hat, when she gets up there and she defends everything that he's doing, when she gets up there and they do this, is this just a put on? Do the people who's asking these questions, do the people who's doing this, I mean, if they say that a hat is smarter if he's playing chess, that he could be playing 10 people and he's 10 moves ahead of everyone, then why is it taking so long? Checkmate them all and let's get this game over. But what I'm saying, all of this time that Sleepy and Dopey was trying to run things, all of this time that all this stuff was happening, we have a situation that they was in charge. They knew what they wanted to do. They could say whatever they wanted to do because it was planned. Are we still doing it on the other side now, on the good side? And I hope not. But it's something that opens my eyes. When you hear people talk, experts talk about the beds, and it's the same thing over and over. If you notice, this person disappears. She disappears for a while. You know why? Because she's spending the money that she's making off of all of us following her. And then when she gets to where she needs a little more, she comes back like she's our savior. No, we have one savior and we have one God. And that's what we need to put all our hopes and all our chips in their basket and pray to them every day that he allows this to happen. And I do every day. And I call out the hat and I call out the people who are not doing their job. My goodness gracious. They talk about the beds and how they'll take you back. They'll actually make you younger. They talk about what happened in 63, that he's still alive. Well, how many times is he going to have to get on the bed to stay that way? Because how many years are they going to let this keep going? And I say this, guys, and I may sound like I'm upset, and I'm not. I'm just trying to speak the truth here. And, there's billions of people in the world. There's billions of people in the world, but yet we're listening to what maybe a few thousand tell us? If we have the greatest military in the world, why aren't they telling this man, you know what, it's time that you get off your butt and you start doing the things for the people that you promised? Because you know what? Today is what, the 23rd. May I wish a happy birthday to my sister-in-law, Jan, and my daughter-in-law, Mandy. Now, I know neither one of them will ever hear me say that here because they've never watched one show, and I could care less, period. But it is what it is. I wanted to take the time to wish them a happy birthday. Hi, Sarita. Hey, Robert, good to see you. It's late for you, ain't it, buddy? See, I had to come on a little bit late so you could get on. Russ is here. Russ says eventually every home will have a mechanical bed. It heals all diseases, but doesn't age regress. Repaired, Well, Russ, I hope you're right. But if we can have one in our home that will clear all diseases. And see, we have to also remember, what is it? 6,000 patents are going to be released too. But my goodness gracious, as dumb as this thing sounds, it isn't going to be long. You're going to start talking about who's going to run for 2028, who's going to run for 2028. I'm tired of being lied to. I really am. So I want to talk to the kids a little bit before I go on. As I said, I don't have a whole lot for the show tonight. I got Judy's reading to do and that. But I did want to talk about this because to me this is very important. Oh, I guess I got a couple other things. Okay, so for all the kids, if you're watching tonight, please, hi Rocky. Please don't think that I'm standing here complaining and, I would like to use a word but I won't use it because of the kids. But it's just it's a frustration. It's hot, and they're pushing us to points that we shouldn't have to be there. We should have crossed the finish line a long time ago. A long time ago. Hey, Olivia. Who sucks, Olivia? I'm missing something. Olivia says something stands for American White. What is that? But anyway, for the children, and I'm not going to mention your names. I'd mention them every show, and you guys all know who you are. I did see on Facebook that Jana had put some pictures up there of the grandkids, and naturally, our princess or queen was in she was in her catching gear, and I think maybe that's why me and her clicked so well, because I was a catcher when I started off. Then I decided it was a lot easier if I just played wherever I was needed. When I played high school ball, the kids wearing their fancy sunglasses. Now everybody's got sunglasses. 10 pair. Yeah, I know what is going on. I think we got a negative Nelly there in Olivia, huh? Anybody know her? Or him? BM? Think about it. Ron's got it. And Janet, you're right. Janet says it was always about the children, and that's why we try to make sure that we're doing something. I was talking to a lady on the chat today, and just out of the blue, she says to me, "Can you send me some money for my children?" I said, "No." So you have to have money to send money. And my honest opinion is no, because if I was going to send money, if I had money, there's people in this group that needs it that I know are true patriots a lot more than this woman. And I said, no. She said, but my children need cards so they can get these games and play games. Don't you think they deserve it? And I said, no, because there's an outside. You know, you open the door and you go outside and you can play and use your imagination. But no, that's what's the trouble with the world, because parents like you think all a kid needs to do is stand there with their thumbs and that, or they need to watch videos, or they need to watch TV. They don't need to go and get in the real world, and they don't even have a clue what's going on. Rocky's got a lot of posts, he says, but he can't find a certain one. It's the same way with me. If I don't put them in a special place, Rocky, I lose them for sure because they just keep coming in. You know, John, I wanted to get into that. And that ends tonight's version of the kids. I mean, I just wanted to acknowledge you that we know you're there, but I was late coming on. I don't want to stay on really, really late. It's really, really hot here. And John says, so that ends the kids, but no, we love you. This video is not meant for you, but you can watch it under the discretion of your parents, grandparents, or legal guardians, as long as you have permission. And the music we played is not our music. We have no legal rights to it. We use it for entertainment purposes only. So getting that out of the way, and the kids, we love you. Let's see. John says, what about the special beds girl that is telling us who can and can't get on them? Now, John, I want to ask you a question. Is that pertaining to the girl coming out with something yesterday or today? I don't remember which. I seen that someone had posted on our Telegram site that she had, I don't know, I don't remember how long it was. I did not listen to it. I'll try to go back and listen to it. But is she saying that only certain people can get on them? Because here's, and I don't know if it is, but I'm going to elaborate on that idea. Why would it only be for certain people? Are we staying in the world we're in where only the elite can get it? Why would she be able to get it and someone else can't? Why is she special and we're not? See, that's the questions I have. That's why I don't listen to her. She disappears. She comes back. She gets people to follow. She makes money, and then she disappears. How many times has this girl come on and said, as soon as we reevaluate, I'm not going to work any projects with my group, as long as the group will follow her while we're going through the rough times, give her money so she can live the life of luxury. As long as they'll do that, she loves her group. But as soon as she has the money, she is literally, come on. And that's why I cannot understand why anybody follows this lady. But there's a lot of people that believe in her. So if they come to me and say, Ralph, you got to listen to this and report on it. It's the same way with another gentleman. When I first started listening to this other gentleman, I really, really liked him. But then he had to bring into play a lady who's selling a project. She's selling a program and another program and another program that all that she's doing is, just like the song says, it's all only make believe, because she doesn't have a clue. She doesn't have a clue what we need at the redemption centers, because she's never been to the redemption center. So everything that she's doing is what she's got in her mind that it's going to be. And I've never taken one of her courses, and I never would take one of her courses. But to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Then you have a guy who comes on and sells products. Oh, they're the greatest products in the world. They're the greatest products in the world. And you can ask Mary Ann. They're the greatest products in the world. There's none better. And we had a spell here a while back where he missed 3 nights out of about a 6 or 7 week period. He missed 3 nights, 3 shows. He couldn't do it because he was under the weather. He was not feeling well. If his products are so good, if we get on these beds, well, think of it. Now, John, think of it. If you get on the bed, do you really think you're going to go and you're going to be getting sick all the time? I don't know. John mentioned, I will go and listen to that. I should have listened to it so I would have more knowledge. She said the children would have a problem because they might talk about it because we have to sign an NDA. That doesn't make no sense at all. John, think about it. The children might not be eligible, but yet it's the children right now are the ones that are getting it. She's also said in the past that this won't be for everybody because you have to be in a right frame of mind. These children that we've rescued tell me that they was in the right frame of mind, but all we hear is how much everything is going so good, so smoothly with them. I did not know that. Larry Smith is saying, Ralph, worldwide 433 million have been taken to special places and taken care of. And yes, 433 million. Well, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy that there's 433 million people who are healthy, wealthy, and wise. But, Larry, my question is, it just goes into what I'm saying. Why? Remember, we couldn't announce these beds. We couldn't announce these beds because Sleepy was president, and there was a chance that Dopey might become president. Okay? The hat wants the credit, which what is credit? When it comes to the point, well, I can't do it under their regime because they would get the credit. So what? If you save millions of people's lives, if my brother-in-law could still be here, if other people here on this show that has lost loved ones could still be here, would you care if they got the credit? I wouldn't, because we all know, who cares if it's credit when the people's eyes are open? They're going to know they're not even existing anyway right now. They're an actor. So if you want to give credit to an actor or an actress, do it. Let's get it done. But no, Larry Smith, I did not know that. Never made sense to me either, Cindy. But I just, when what John said, that the children may not be eligible because they'll talk and we all have to sign an NDA. Why? If they're announced, why do we have to sign an NDA? Are we not just doing what we've done our whole lives, guys? We're giving the special elite a chance to excel, to make money, to do this and do that. Why we suffer, why we sweat, and why we carry on the world, because they won't do anything. So the things that you're saying over here just makes everything I've talked about in the show tonight all come into fruition. Yeah, I heard that, Cindy. I don't believe it, but it's like I said. One day the restored republic will be the greatest thing in the world, and the next day, is they don't have nothing. They got a nothing burger. So Ron did get a few things. Let me see what he's got here. The hat knew this isn't just about markets. This is global financial warfare. ISO 2220022, BRICS gold back currency, Ripple net corridors, private liquidity pools. Not a coincidence. It's a chessboard, and you're late to the match. In 2018, the hat signed Executive Order 13772. If he's going to sign something like that in 2018, don't they think that they should tell people instead of waiting. Core principles for regulating the U.S. financial system. Buried inside it, talks of modernization, cross-border payments, and financial infrastructure upgrades. Guess what was already being tested in the background? XRP. Now, XRP, I was told the other day, XRP is no good. XLM is no good. It's not even real. They're just taking our money. And, I don't believe that, but it came from somebody I'd never heard from. So people I haven't heard from, I have a tendency not to believe. So a few financial messaging systems that eliminates friction and imposes the old rails is not optional. It's global. And Ripple was the first blockchain company inside the ISO 222 committee. Coincidence? While the media showed you Sleepy versus the Hat, behind the curtain, the real bet was about who controls the next monetary system, which rails move tokenized assets, and how quickly sovereign can ditch the dollar. Enter BRICS. Russia plus China are building a gold-backed settlement layer, but ask yourself, how does that settle instantly? How does it connect to non-aligned countries? There's not going to be there's not going to back to physical vaults. They're testing neutral protocols. Private digital final XRP fits perfectly. BlackRock, BIS, IMF, they're not bidding on memes. They're accumulating access to private liquidity pools, dark condors, and instant finality. They won't tell you it's XRP, but it's Ripple behind half these pilot programs. They don't need to pump it. They just need it to work. This was never a coin market. It was a global chessboard. You weren't watching charts. You were watching the reset unfold. The hat was just a piece. XRP is the engine. And ISO 222, that was the checkmate move. They won't announce it. They won't warn you. But the board flips. You'll see who had control all along. And then they ask you to join their site. And I got one more thing here to read. Breaking the reset, real QFS 3.0, XRP, Big N, Big G, and the National Quantum Initiative. The time of debt, inflation, and central bank control is coming to an end. The quantum financial system, QFS, Ripple, XRP, and the Big N, Big G movement are no longer just ideas. They are now working to break down the old financial system and replace it with a secure, open, asset-backed system based on quantum technology. The National Quantum Initiative is now fully in effect, and the future of the finances is changing right now. The QFS is not just a theory. It is the basis of the new economy. It is supported by gold, silver, and platinum. It can't be changed. It gets rid of inflation. It keeps people safe. And that quantum encryption key, track of check and process every transaction. No cheating. There's no extra charges. No middleman who are better than everyone else. Every layer is coded with the truth of fairness. XRP is at the heart of the change. Ripple's XRP ledger is built for fast, cheap, cross-border payments and follows the ISO 222 standard. It connects all of the asset-backed currencies in the QFS so that they can trade with each other. It is the new financial highway rails. It connections to decentralized protocols like Axelar is making as possible for real-time global transaction to happen in all economic zones. The purpose of the Big N, Big G, this movement wants to get rid of all kinds of debt, including personal, national, and global. It gives back money that is taken. It gets rid of income tax. It starts programs for prosperity and are paid off by the ledgers. The central banks tried hard to stop it, but now that the fiat has failed, Big N visions coming true. QFS will make sure that the wealth is shared fairly, and biometric ID will make sure everyone owns their digital assets. So, I mean, it's a good game. It's good talk, but we have to see it. And that's the bottom line. Papa G says, Banknote World, today $53 gets you 25,000 dinar or 5 million bolivar. I seen that. Janet found a coffee cup at Dollar General. The best is yet to come. We all think so. That's a good deal, Gary. Thank you for doing that for them. Yes, and isn't it a shame that people are getting so low on money? I don't know about you guys where you live, but I haven't been around a gas station for a little while. I filled my gas up the last time I was in this contest with the gas station that I go to, and I actually got 50 cents off. 50 cents off, and I still paid $2.84 a gallon. If you pay regular for the gas here, in Illinois, you can't get it much less than $3.39 a gallon. But we keep hearing from our great president, we keep hearing that everything is going down. Everything is going down, but, you know, I don't know. I want to believe. I really do. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to surrender, and I'm not going to comply. But, you know, it comes a point in our lives that you want to be showed, you don't want to be told. Larry Smith says it's $3.19 in Oklahoma. But you know what? It's amazing. It truly is amazing. Because no matter how high the prices are, it doesn't stop the people who's not opening their eyes. They still do whatever they want. I mean, take, for instance, my son and daughter-in-law and 2 grandkids left last Friday afternoon to go to 3 different states on vacation. Myrna, they was pretty close to you. I tried to talk them into calling, but they already had their day and a half planned in Iowa. And the only reason they went to Iowa is because over the course they want to take their kids to all of the states. And I said, boy, I got thinking to myself, for someone that don't believe, that's going to be pretty hard for them when they got to take them to Canada and Mexico and Australia and that. But I don't say nothing to them because they're non-believers. But they're spending a boatload of money. I drove by my brother Russ's house the other day, and my niece said, "Oh, Uncle Ralph, it's good to see you. It's good to see you." $3.19, Bill Woods says. It's good to see you. $2.99, Rocky. But anyway, she's told me how good it was to see me, and she had my godfather's gift for Father's Day in her house at her dad's house, and she said, "Let me go get it. I don't know when I'll see you again." Her dad walked out and started talking to me, my brother Russ. And we got talking, and he goes, "Well, I won't be here tomorrow." I was going to go up and have a couple beers with him, sit around his pool and just talk. I won't be here. I said, where are you going? Oh, he said, me and all 5 of my daughters, their husbands, their grandkids, everything, we're going to Ohio. $4,000 to rent a place to stay in Ohio for them. And I'm thinking, wow. And the 4th of July, all I'll hear from people is, oh, I just don't have no money. I don't have no money. My daughter, someone asked Ella when she was on, what are you going to do this summer? And her number one thing is, towards the end of July, they're going to Alabama to Gulf Shores. Like $4,000 for them to go. Man, me and Ron struggling to just put food on the table. We're on the plate. We're struggling to pay our tax. Yeah, we both got hit with taxes this month. You know, Ron, 79 years old, has not had anything to do with our local school district since 1964 when he graduated. He's never had no children, and he just had to pay part 1 of his taxes the other day. But when he pays part 1 and part 2, he's going to pay over $900 so people can go on vacation, because I just mentioned to you, people's on vacation, and 3 or 4 of them are working for that school district. Then they got mad at me today. Because they posted on Facebook that the school district was hiring a janitor. Anybody looking to be a janitor, please apply. They need one bad. Did it 3 times. After I lost my job at the factory, I applied to be a custodian, a janitor, 3 different times. 3 different times I was told by the guy who hires, you got the job, but I got to take it to the board. Now, I could be a prejudiced man here. Because the first time they decided, when they took it to the board, no, we need to hire this guy. He was black. Okay, it don't matter to me. If they have to reach up and hire, and he's better for the job, fine. The second time I applied for the job, and I told them how good I would be for that job, because, see, they were going to put me in a different school, not in the main one. The guy who was going to hire me, I said, hey, when I worked at the factory, I run the tool crib. I know how to order, so I could place all the orders for the schools and relieve you of some of your duties. He fell in love with the idea. They take it in, and instead they hire a woman. And the third time I applied for the job, they just told me, Ralph, you're just too old. I was 58 years old, but I was too old to be a janitor. And I'm supposed to love my school district. Well, as far as my school district and me are concerned, they can kiss where I sit. But, you know, it is what it is, and we're not going to change it. It's got to be changed by the higher ups. We can only hope. We can only hope that it changes very, very soon. So let's see what Restored Republic says. This is from Judy Bidington today, the 23rd. It's over. Blackout confirmed. Phase 1 active. We need a reboot worldwide. Green sky. It's here. Mr. Poole on Telegram. Wow, what I just read there, guys, I think I've read the exact same thing for the last 3 weeks. Wow, Papa G's getting it. Well, we're never going to be low until we get rid of the fat man here in Illinois. Until we get rid of him, because not only do we have him there, that then it's bad for us being from Illinois and having him. It's terrible for the people in Chicago. You know, I used to think Chicago was the greatest city in the world. Nothing could compare. The fat man took over. These people that they got running Chicago took over. I don't even want to go up to White Sox games, and it's not because they're bad, because I go for the entertainment. I go for the camaraderie, to talk to people in the stands, to drink beer with people, to flirt with the ladies. I just go for fun. my grandkids want to go up, I would love to take them, but I just don't like that area anymore. What's next? False flag, EMPs engineered, plagues deep state terror. Be prepared, stock up on goods, get offline energy source, trust no broadcast unless it's Starlink X. Yeah, as Ron said, and I was getting ready to say this myself, do you realize if we would have stocked up on food for the next 30 to 60 days as many times as they told us, we couldn't, because there's no way we could have that much money. But someone mentioned giving someone some gas, really help them out. You want to know something that would really make you feel good? It does me. And I don't have a lot of money, guys. I deal with what I got. But something that really, really, really makes me feel good is when I see these people in the store. And it used to be I always looked for older people. And I got thinking one day, wait a minute. Younger people need money too. They need food too. But I used to think, well, they can't afford it because, there's a store that I go to. And they do run some really good deals. But it's funny because, see, they're right in the middle of this town where the whole area all around it, I'd say 80% of it is senior citizens. But they do not offer a senior citizen discount on anything. Anybody gets the same sales that everybody else, and I'm thinking, young man that owns this store, the only reason you own it is because we kept things like this alive with senior citizens. Someday you'll be a senior citizen. You won't have this cushy job. Maybe something will go wrong and you'll need a handout. But I watch people when I go into stores. I have a couple things I do. When I go into store, I love watching and observing people. But I also, whenever I go in, I try to make at least 10 people smile. I try to make 10 people happy and understand that things are going to get better. But I think my brother Russ hit it best the other day when he says, when is the hat going to get us some money? And I answered him with, he's promising before the 4th of July. And I said this, but you know what? For the first time saying something like this to a non-believer, I didn't believe it myself. Because is it the 4th of July this year or next year? Remember, he says it has to happen twice. We were supposed to celebrate the greatest 4th of July last year. So is this one the real one? I don't know. I mean, I've got a Christmas shirt that I'm waiting to wear. I went through my clothes today and I said, I got to put this in this drawer. I was going to put it in the clothes that I won't wear till the winter because you shouldn't wear Christmas shirts, year round. But got a big old Santa Claus, Merry Christmas, on it. And I was gonna put it away, and no, because I got to have something that when I do a show, I got a Christmas look. So that's about it with Judy. There's a few things here, but a lot of it's about what happened, what the hat did the other day to that one country and put down the gauntlet. He put down the gauntlet and decided that enough was enough. Now I hear that one country that's in conflict with the Ukraine, now all of a sudden they're mad at the hat. Boy, I tell you, you can't. You cannot. The minds of these people, the way they make everything up. But it's funny because I read an article today that countries that have warheads, the ones that we were told not long ago, nobody in the world has them. John, they say we are, but I don't know. I don't know. I thought that they got the military people out of there that were bad and everything would go smooth, but I really, guys, I wish I had the answers for John's question about John asked, are we not under military law? I thought we were. Michael James, yes, I wish we really knew the truth. I do too. Well, guys, we've been on for 50 minutes and there's really not a whole lot. It's 12 minutes after 8. I'm gonna let you guys go try to cool off. Do the best you can do, and enjoy your night. I was supposed to do Wednesday in the afternoon, so Ella could do it with me, but I have not talked to Ella or really any of my family. They're supposed to come over to my house tomorrow. I will let everyone know in time. Plan on sometime in the early afternoon Wednesday, but we may be back to Wednesday night. I don't know. I'd like to say we're going to come on for a celebration call, that we're going to have everything according to Bruce. It was supposed to start happening today. I haven't seen anything. I'm sorry if I was a little bit down at first, but I just was trying to speak the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. But I still believe I will not comply. I will not surrender. I will not give in. I'm in this for the long run. And with that, I'm going to say good night. God bless, and we love you all. Have a great evening.